Hello, everyone. It's Heather Cournoyer from Think Insure, your commercial insurance expert. And the beautiful lady next to me is Rita Munro from Becher Munro. She is a chartered professional accountant and has been a partner in the firm for 19 years, Rita?
Yes.
Awesome. First off, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's so great to talk to business owners and consumers about questions they have about insurance. And we also want to find a little bit about how COVID has affected you and maybe some tips you can give other business owners and consumers as well. So thank you.
Okay, so the question I have for you is, I really find the insurance policies confusing, trying to understand what I'm even looking at. Do you have any advice on what to look for, what it all means?
That's probably one of the most asked questions, and people talk about the legal jargon and the fine print and all of those things. Having said that, is there any contract in the world that's easy to read?
No, not really.
No. So these contracts have to be designed so that they clearly say what they mean, because when push comes to shove, it's up to the insurance company to make sure they are insuring what they're intending to insure. So here's a few little tips that I would suggest. When it comes to property insurance, the normal coverage is an all-risk coverage. So on those property policies, you want to look for what's excluded. You know you're covered for everything, but. So go to the exclusions, go to the limitations. Then you'll know what you're not covered for, and then you can ask your broker, what does this mean and why isn't it covered? For every exclusion, there's a reason for it, okay? So one of the common exclusions in a property policy is mold. Well, if you've got mold in your place, it just means you didn't maintain it properly. You may have had a leak somewhere and you weren't maintaining your property. And it's really the same thing on the liability, on the commercial general liability. You're insured for bodily injury, property damage, for your negligent acts, except for, okay, a common exclusion in the liability policy, anything to do with auto. Well, you have a separate insurance for auto. So that's kind of a really short answer to your question. Bear in mind, they are getting more confusing, believe it or not, and every insurance company has different wordings and different extensions. So it's really, really important that you have a really good discussion with your broker about what you are doing and how your business is run, so that he can make sure that he gets you the right coverage. Does that help you out a little bit?
It really does, thank you. To me, it boils down in part to trusting the broker that you're working with.
Yeah. And you really do need to vet your broker as well, just like any other business. If you're going to, for instance, when I changed my accounting firm, I made sure that I checked the references, and it's worked out well. And thank you very much for that. Tell me a little bit about how COVID has affected your business.
Well, it did shut down our staff working here for 2 weeks at the end of March. They were just getting antsy and uncomfortable being here.
Yeah.
So, and we gave them an opportunity, their decision to come back, and they did. So we've been sterilizing, sanitizing, I guess, sanitizing things and maintaining the social distance that we can given our work environment. So most of the time we're in our own little cute cubbies, office spaces. The other impact is extending the tax season because of the extension in personal tax filing deadlines. So it's flattened another curve. So that's interesting.
That's good to know. Obviously, there's a lot of financial implications to this whole COVID thing. A lot of businesses are getting additional funds. Consumers are getting funds. Maybe you could just give us some short tips on how that's going to impact these business owners and individuals down the road when it comes tax time next year.
Okay, the CREB, the personal income, the $2,000 a month one to people who are out of work because of COVID, that is taxable income. And it does not have any tax deducted from it. So I'm fully expecting a lot of tax bills come next April.
Okay.
If you have the ability to prepare for it, I would suggest probably 25% of it, if you can, squirrel away. Or when you get back to work, start squirreling some away. So that's on the personal side. The business one, the $40,000 loan that the government has guaranteed, if you repay it after December 31st, 2020 and before December 31st, 2022, you get to keep 10. That is also taxable income. So you will pay tax on that. The wage subsidies, again, they are paying part of your expenses. That will impact your income. So mostly when you have been negatively impacted by COVID and shutdowns, you probably, maybe well, to get the 75% wage subsidy, you have to have lost income. So maybe it's the difference between a loss and a break even. Maybe it's the difference between a break even and a small profit. Maybe it is just more income. I don't know. It depends on circumstances.
Wow.
Same on the 10% wage subsidy. It's going to be a reduction of your expense.
Okay.
So tax bills all around next year. I mean, we got to pay for all of this somehow.
No, I would agree with you. I mean, it's great to have it for the people that need it.
Absolutely.
However, if anybody has any questions about it and would like some great advice, I would definitely suggest talking to Rita. She's very knowledgeable at what she does. I do want to thank you so much for helping us out, because you're giving great advice to the business owners and the people in the community, and that's fabulous. So we really appreciate that, Rita. Thank you so much.
Can I make one other comment?
Yes, please.
Now more than ever, it is so important to have your accounting records up to date, because a lot of what is being asked depends on current, accurate information. You've got to get those books up to date.
Perfect. So I'm sure that the consumers will be trying to keep you busy. Thank you very much, Rita. Appreciate your help.